Okay, so welcome folks to my reaction video to the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 12 and the first part of the finale. So here we're watching a real interesting sort of showdown between Portia and Kenya.
Factual. Don't go trying to make me look bad because I'm not trying to make you look bad. You've already made yourself look bad.
Nene's
Okay,
just
but
kind
if
of
you're
chilling
gonna be a
there.
changed person, you need to acknowledge your past. You need to acknowledge your past. We're not talking about that. Accept your past. Accept your
So just keep in mind again, we're like 15 minutes and 41 seconds in, and they're already just going at each other. And we haven't even really gotten into Nene and Kenya or anything yet, but
past. Accept your past, honey.
Let me get in.
so that's the thing. Andy's having to, jump in and kind of moderate an increasing amount throughout this little sort of thing. I hadn't really even noticed until just now the sort of more orange color of his mustache and beard. I'm noticing because it's like all zoomed in and stuff. I had watched this first on my iPad, and I don't know. I don't know. I feel like uh, it might be kind of interesting to see if Andy like could like dye his hair this sort of orangish, sort of rust colored, and that might look kind of, I don't know, that might look kind of interesting. Anyways, though.
Come on in.
Nene mentioned karma as it related.
Okay, so right here, as you can see, Nini's just kind of checked out of it. Kenya is like smiling because she's like, yeah, I'm kind of ahead right here. And eventually, Nini actually just like shut her laptop and then vanished for a good, 10 something minutes. And when she returned, she didn't really have a good explanation of where she had been, and it was basically just like Kenya insulting her the entire time. Well, anyways, I'm going to just skip forward a little bit more. There was another interesting thing I had noticed. Where was it? I feel like it was close to the end, but might have been near 35.
Bother you to the point where you're like, I'm gonna bring receipts to the reunion. Why?
Yeah, that was
And where are you?
that was kind of the whole receipts thing, like especially when I forget who it was, but they were like unraveling an entire thing of receipt, and I was like, what the? And we got all this sort of stuff, like I think it was Cynthia brought up, or I think it was Cynthia, but somebody brought up the cookie lady, and I was just like, oh my god, really? Because I am just totally okay with not seeing any more stuff about the cookie lady. Oh no, it was Andy that brought up the cookie lady first. But yeah. So anyways,
Where are your damn receipts? So you want to talk about a receipt, girl? Where they at? She's so dumb, but
yeah,
she over
Portia
here
kept doing
making
that.
moves. What we gonna do?
It was kind of annoying. Portia kept like kind of being like, "Oh, I'm so cool" and stuff, and I'm like, "Come on, Portia, like don't do that." Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like in this sort of finale here, Portia was trying too hard to be cool when she already is cool, and her trying to be even more cool just basically made Kenya look like she was kind of coming out ahead. That was just my sort of impression.
This is at a time that she was very much friends with you, the much gorgeous, just so gorgeous Cynthia, honey. Thank you.
Is she beautiful?
And she basically was letting me know that she was gonna get numbered, and that is in my text. It is right here in my text.
Yeah, so Portia also had like something in her phone. She ended up like not emailing, texting it to both Andy, or a screenshot of it to both Andy and Cynthia. I thought that was a bit on the tacky side as well, just because, like really text messaging.
Portia, send the screenshot of that text message
Oh
to
yeah,
Cynthia
here.
and I.
No problem.
Yeah.
Nene, I'm wondering, what is your reaction to some of the women thinking that your apologies were not sincere?
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. Oh yeah, that the Portia thing.
It's been so hard without you.
Um,
I was like, okay, okay, I get it. You know, y'all cool again, but life's hard.
Yeah, so that was definitely an interesting thing that they brought it up a little bit earlier in this part one of the finale earlier as well. I I don't know, it's like I feel to a certain extent like that could definitely be somewhat more genuine because like you know this whole like Kenya and Nini thing with like various people coming in from each different side, you know, picking a side and, you know, so on and so forth like that. I don't know. It's been just very, it's been very, I don't know, like the best way to describe it, it's been very kind of like, you know, that kind of sensation of like, I really don't like this. But,
How she do.
And I
You know how
agree.
she just
I
work her way
agree.
in so she
I
can dog people out
let me
later.
say.
She dogged this
so, you know, towards the end, it was kind of, I mean, basically, you know, words started flying. I think at one point, you know, partway through, Andy had tried to just, kind of press the mute button, and that didn't work because that just made everyone mad. So then Andy was just trying to kind of speak really loudly into his microphone to get attention. And it's just the whole thing just started. So, I mean, it wasn't fortunately physical fighting like they've had in some of the previous Real Housewives of Atlanta finales, but like still, I don't know.
They are haters.
Oh yeah,
No,
what
I'm
was
not.
Okay, that happens in friendships.
what was Andy doing there?
I was upset, but once she and I worked it out, we genuinely worked it out.
We cursed each other out.
We dogged
I was
each
Okay.
upset,
other.
but
We dogged each
Oh
other.
yeah.
we dogged each other.
Yeah,
out.
so
You.
We dogged.
that was kind of interesting. So Andy was trying to get Nini to say that right there, and it was kind of interesting just kind of hearing Andy with the sort of accent there. Just because I don't know that just seemed kind of a little kind of like dang, like I would not have expected that from Andy, but I don't know, it was kind of interesting, but shortly after this right here, this was one of the last sort of light-hearted moments of the episode.
Okay, that happens in friendships. They are haters.
No, I'm not a hater.
It's okay for everybody else
No,
to
that's not
apologize.
true,
It's just
Nene.
not okay for
I'm
me to
okay
apologize.
Yeah, so this I think really gets down to where the fans of, you know, every single housewife on this season really are picking sides. Because, you know, there's definitely the Nini crowd, and then there's the sort of, you know, Kenya, um, Candy, and I guess Cynthia. That would probably be the main ones on the other side. I don't know. Overall, I just feel like
The reunion continues.
Can you?
I want to get in. Hey, ladies, I want to get in here.
She apologized.
Okay. Can I?
yeah, this was kind of like when it got to this right here, I was just like, oh my god, this is really kind of this is going out of control here. And it was really interesting. Product placement though, Rhode must have played or like paid Andy a ton of money to get that fantastic product placement right there. You know, really, I think he really missed out the opportunity to do product placement for whatever this really interesting looking thing is right here. But yeah, it was no, I'm being sarcastic here, but the point is this is kind of the equivalent of Andy trying to jump into the middle of everyone, kind of like, whoa, let's not like you know, get anyone arrested or anything. um I felt like you know, this whole I feel like they really need to just do something about this. This whole, I mean, all the housewives are so, um, or at least like you know, there was that one thing where Portia was like, "I'm never gonna forgive somebody." I think it was Kenya, and then like you know, there's this whole Kenya and Nene thing, and I feel like to a certain extent, what is needed is a bit of outside intervention from Andy, and like you know, basically he's going to need to say like, you guys better, we're gonna like, you know, the producers and stuff are gonna figure out how to make this work. But if it can't work, it's not like you guys can't be doing this. Just because I feel like it's more fun to see, um, I don't know, just see like a a large group of the housewives who are a bit more unified, instead of like they kept referring to Nene isolating off at her island. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, like, Nene's such a great housewife. I mean, I think I fall a little bit more into the Nene camp here. But, like, earlier on, they were showing some extensive footage of Nene. I'm trying to find it here, but of Nene and her ex-husband. I think it was around here.
What?
That's what you're wearing?
Yes, that's what I'm wearing.
But yeah, so I mean, like this whole party thing, like that's the kind of thing where, like, you want all the housewives to be kind of rallying together. And when you have, this was at the peak of the whole Nene and Kenya thing, and you want like Nene to be there for Kenya. And even like Portia later on was talking about how she really wished that her relationship with Nene was better, because during the whole pregnancy cheating thing, it would have been really good to have Nene there for support and stuff. I don't know, just overall, I feel like, well, I would say this is one of the main scenes of this entire season. This party with Kenya, and I got to admit, I forget his name, but like just how he was like, kind of ignoring her pointedly at various important parts during the sort of fundraiser event. And I don't know, this whole season seemed a bit kind of like, it was just so tense. And I feel like you want to get more of a sort of easier vibe out of watching it. Obviously there's going to be drama. I mean, it's a drama show, but you don't want this like nonstop. I don't know, it's just like at each other. Anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes in part 2 of the finale. Hopefully it's a bit more unifying. And yeah, just make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel with notifications on. You click that little bell button. And yeah, I will see everyone in my next video. And thanks for watching. Bye.